Boy. Well, that was a close one. Okay, well, in today's news here, some interesting things are going on here. I'm going to show you this clip here. Daily Mail has a clip of Trump promising overtime to the stranded astronauts that just got back home. So let's take
two astronauts that you just helped save from space. They didn't get any overtime pay for all that extra time. They got $5 a day per diem for 286 days. That is $1,430 in extra pay. Is there anything the administration can do to make them whole?
Well, nobody's ever mentioned this to me. If I have to, I'll pay it out of my own pocket. Okay? I'll get it for you.
Mr. President,
I like that.
Mr. President,
Okay, so you heard it from Trump himself. If they can't get pay for these astronauts, he'll pay it out of pocket. I cannot believe that that's how much money they're going to get. It works out to a $5 extra a day in space for these guys on top of their regular annual salary, which is a lot. Well, a lot to most people. Most salaries for astronauts, as the Daily Mail reports right here, is $125,000 to $136,000 a year. It's pretty good. Not what you think astronauts would make. You think they make a lot more, but you gotta remember, it's a government job. But I've never heard of a government job paying you only $5 extra. That's just crazy. I mean, these people went to space on the promise that, oh, hey, it's only going to be, 9 days, a week or so of your time. And that's it. How much money is time away from your family really worth? Is 9 months of time away from your loved ones worth an extra $1,300? Is it? I don't think so. I mean, golly, let's do the math here real quick. Let's take a look. See here. Let me go back to let's get a calculator here. Let's say that's their 40-hour week. Let's say everything else is overtime. And let's say they max out. Let's say it's just 8 hours of overtime on top of their regular 40-hour week. So 8 hours. So let's say they do another 40 hours of overtime. Good, and that's good. I'm giving the government the benefit of the doubt. Let's see. Their pay, let's start with 120. Let's do round up 130. And let's see, that's per year. So 52 weeks divided by 40 hours a week. They make about $62 an hour, give or take. Overtime in my industry is 1.7 times that. So 62.5 times 1.7, 106.25 an hour. So times 40 times 52 plus their initial salary around $350,000 is what these astronauts should be getting paid for this kind of work. And that's just the bare minimum, I think. I mean, remember, they're in space constantly. Now, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because they're not always working. They do have to sleep at some point, although can you really sleep all that well in zero-G? No. Which is actually a really funny thing. Side note, you're not actually in zero-G when you're on the International Space Station. The Earth's gravity is still pulling you at most of that 9.8 meters per second. The real thing is you're in actual constant free fall. So it's more like you are jumping out of a plane. Instead of hitting the ground, you keep missing the ground, so you stay falling forever. Now, you have no real mode of reference other than looking out the window, so you have no idea you're actually falling. But that's how the basic orbit that they're in works. You're orbiting the Earth, and you're being pulled down so fast and at just the right angle that instead of actually hitting the ground, you miss. And then the Earth's gravity pulls you back around, and you come back around, and you repeat the process over and over until your orbit degrades and you crash, or you boost yourself back up. But I just cannot believe that this is what they're going to... Let me go back to the article here, because this bothers me. I mean, these are people here. These are people's lives. It's not, and it's an accident that you had, not because this was a mission in space that you were doing because you're doing some really important science. You were there effectively to test a commercial project. The Boeing company made a capsule and a rocket and decided, hey, we're going to send this up. We need some astronauts to fly it because we're not going to send our own people there. Now, maybe there's a reason for this. No offense to Boeing. But why should you not get paid extra for that? In theory, that's kind of a lawsuit when you think about it. hey, you stranded me in space because your ship was deemed unsafe to take us back home. I don't care what they actually say, because they're going to say, well, it was safe. It just wasn't, you couldn't ride it back. I mean, come on. You could have ridden that back, apparently, because it landed. But they were not about to put you in it, because if you died in it, Boeing's space program is gone forever. They lose a person in space, they're not making it back from this. They have so many problems with making this thing. They're way behind schedule. I mean, granted, space is always going to be behind schedule. Everyone's always behind. Even SpaceX, I think, is a little behind what they want. Now, is it all their faults? Maybe not. But, yeah, let's see if there's anything else here on Daily Mail's report. I mean, Trump, I reported this earlier. Trump did bring them back early. It is earlier, by a couple weeks. But, hey, how much is time worth to you? 2 weeks earlier with your family? Yeah. You've been up there a long time. 9 months is a long service. I believe, let's take a look, what the average International Space Station stay is. Let's see if the AI has an answer. 6 months. So you're 3 months longer than what the average space stay is. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I'm sorry, guys. That's just terrible. Thank God for Trump. Really, he's actually out there saying, hey, I'll pay these guys, even if I have to pay them out of my own pocket. Golly. Have you ever heard Biden say that? Or Obama say that? Or any real president say that? I'll be honest with you, I was a big Bush supporter back in the day. I liked George Bush. I still like George Bush to an extent. And I know that's controversial among most people. But I liked him. I thought he was a good president. I think he's a nice guy. But he never did anything like that. Kindness is only really important when you actually do something with it. Saying kind words and things, what does that mean to somebody? Oh, he's a nice guy. Yeah, he didn't say something mean to you. That's the bare minimum, if that. Trump may say mean things occasionally, but he actually does nice things. I mean, golly. Every time I'll see him post stuff on his Truth Social, and it looks like somebody wrote it that has something a little wrong with them a little bit. Like they're just a little too emotional about things. But dang, he makes up for it in the things he does. Golly. If I could vote for him again, I would. I've heard there's a rumor he's running again. He's not running again. He's just doing it to mess with people. It freaks people out that have low intelligence. There's no possible way Trump can run again unless he changes the Constitution. And let's be honest, he's already old enough. I mean, looks good for his age. I'll give him that. He's out there playing golf. He won his last tournament, I'm sure. Yeah. You win your golf tournament at your house. Yeah. Sure. We all believe that. He definitely won. Let's see if there's anything else on this article before we open the floor here. Let's see here. Yeah, the astronauts were brought home, thank God, safely. And making a surprising recovery on walking on their own power and normal gravity. Oh, that's excellent. Daily Mail reports that. That's great. Let's see. According to this, roughly a third of astronauts who spend 6 months in space go on to suffer chronic back pain, and nearly half experience acute pain after returning to Earth. That's actually pretty bad. I mean, that's how many would you want to have chronic back pain? Being in space is no picnic. You get a lot of radiation, even in low Earth orbit. It's bad. I mean, even planes that fly at high enough altitudes have problems. Don't get me started on a single event upset that could possibly occur on a plane. There's a great video on that, by the way. I have to find it one of these days. I mean, how much is the damage to your life worth? I'm not saying that what these guys didn't do was heroic and great. I think these astronauts did a great job and that they stayed in space and didn't complain about it. Golly, if I got stranded for 9 months because of somebody else's screw up, I'd be pretty mad. Just saying. I don't know. Well, it's a screw up. Call it what it is. You can't make a spaceship, send people there, and then it not have something work right, and you can't bring them back home safely. If that spaceship would have crashed in any shape or form, Boeing would be out of business in the space program, and might be out of business in the in the airplane building program as well. It doesn't show much confidence. The reason you build these things isn't just to show, hey, I can build a rocket. It shows, look at our company. We can do anything. Our planes are safe. Everything we make is great. You can't compete with us. We're the best. And, well, apparently not the best at everything. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that Trump made the right move? Do you think that these astronauts should get paid more than an extra $1,300 for 9 months of extra work? Now, to be fair, they were paid their regular salaries, I assume, so they did get paid. They just had to change location. What do you think? Have a blessed day.